Hey guys, good morning. I am so happy to be with my Pilates peeps. My name is Elizabeth. I'm your instructor. I am recovering from an injured back, so I will be modifying quite a bit today, but I didn't want to cancel class again. So, but the good news is, even though it's not Friday, we'll do a little bit of work with the foam roller. So for props today, we're going to use a foam roller and dumbbells. So we'll get started by grabbing those dumbbells. We'll just set the foam roller to the side. And then reach the arms to the sides, dumbbells in hand, come onto those tippy toes, lower one heel, bend one elbow, come onto all 10 tippy toes and switch and switch and switch and continue. And I was so excited to see you guys this morning. I forgot to grab dumbbells. So you continue with that. I'm going to grab dumbbells. All right, guys, just coming into a Pilates prance. The idea here is to just warm up the body, get the blood pumping. And this gives me an opportunity with a simple move to request of you, as always, to keep your workout with me today pain-free. So that means comfortably uncomfortable is okay, but pain is not. So anytime you're feeling stabbing pain, shooting pain, joint pain, structural pain, anything like that, please stop what you're doing, do something different so you're working in a pain-free range of motion, and please take care of your sweet body. So you will see today I will be doing quite a bit of that. You are breathing for 4 and 3, 2 and 1, and come to center. All right, swing those arms from side to side. Notice how this feels. We'll revisit this move throughout the class, and I want you to begin to notice if it feels different. For 2 and 1, and come to center. All right, guys, then let's reach those arms into goal pose, and one knee into tabletop, arms overhead, and switch and switch and switch and continue. I can already tell that's not going to work for me. So I'm going to come into biceps curls, but if it feels okay for you, continue with those overhead presses. So you are working those shoulders. You might ask, what did I do to throw my back out? Was I doing something super adventurous, like surfing overhead waves or jumping out of an airplane? No, the answer is I was plugging something into the wall. And my first thought was like, what the F? I'm a Pilates instructor. This should not be happening to me. And my second thought was, oh, thank goodness I do Pilates, or I would be a disaster. All right, always trying to turn it into the positive, right? For 4 and 3, you guys look awesome. 2 and 1, and come to center. All right, then for arm movements this time, we'll pull the elbows back. So elbows back behind, pressing your chest out, shoulders down and back. Let's take that left foot, bring it into tabletop. Okay, if you're comfortable balancing on one leg, we'll progress on. Otherwise, practice that balance on one leg, placing those toes down at any time. That is very much time well spent. Okay, but if you feel pretty solid with that leg hovering, let's take the sole of the foot and point it to the right, with the knee out to the side. And then let's take that foot and put it behind the calf and in front and behind, and continue. So we're doing like little ballerina type moves here. I'm sure there's a name for it, but I forgot. Elbows back behind. And then as you bring that foot behind the calf, let's straighten those arms and bend and straighten and bend and continue. By the way, look, if this is bothersome for anyone's hip or knee, just come into a tap. Yeah, so that's totally an option. All right, where was I? Elbows back. Yep. And breathe. Begin to notice how you're feeling the inner thigh and the outer thigh of the leg moving through space, but also notice how much you are feeling those muscles in your standing leg supporting you. Challenging that balance, coming into a hard opening. Yeah, you guys look really good. For 4 and 3, I feel like I'm losing my form here. And 2, so I'm going to try to get it back. And 1, and come to center. Wow, that was surprisingly challenging, feeling different muscles activated on each side. So that's kind of interesting. Let's go ahead and balance that out. So pulling those elbows back, let's hover that right foot. All right, Sometimes this is plenty. But if you want more, let's take that foot to the side, and then we'll bring it in back and forward and back and forward. And if this is all fine and dandy, as you reach that foot back, let's reach those arms back and back. Okay, so by the way, even though we're reaching those arms forward at one time, I want the elbows to stay back behind you. So you are experiencing work in the back of the arm as you kick those arms back straight behind you. Balance check. Oh my goodness. Balance challenge. Yeah. And breathe. All right. Looking good, guys. Woo. And again, notice the different muscles on each side of your body that you're feeling activated. That's even true for the front and the back, because we're working the front of the arms as we bend those elbows, and we're working the backs of those arms as we kick those arms back straight. For 3 and 2 and 1, and come to center. Wow. All right, swing those arms from side to side and notice how this feels for 2 and 1, and come to center. All right, let's set the dumb. Okay, so if your dumbbells are more than 1 pound, set them down to the side. And then if you decide you want to use them later, that's okay, you can grab them. But let's start out without any dumbbells. Okay, come into what we call a Pilates V. That is where the heels are touching, the toes are apart, your feet look like a slice of pizza. Arms out to the side, navel is tucked to the spine. Bend those knees, reach those arms in front and open, and do it again and continue. Now I want you to imagine, if you will, well, this cue doesn't really work because you're lifting and lowering in space. But so what I was going to say is that you are standing and your arms are on one of those high bar tables, and you're just sliding those arms across. So, but notice how in doing that, my arms are not lifting or lowering in space relative to my body. So let's do that. But of course they will lower and lift because we're bending our knees. But if you get the idea of what I'm talking about. So in other words, keep those hands level in space relative to your body. That was really hard. I'm sure there was a much easier way to say that. For 3 and 2, and the next time you're down, stay down. All right, guys, from here, softness in those elbows, shoulders down and back. And then let's lift one heel and lower, and the other heel and lower. Continue. Trying to keep your body still so your body is not shifting from side to side or lifting or lowering. It's just one heel lifting and then the other heel. All right, so as you can guess, we're going to add on to this. Also notice how, unless you picked up your dumbbells because you wanted more, notice how even though our arms are not moving and we don't have dumbbells, how much those muscles are working. And then I want you to keep your arms where they are, but imagine that, that you're trying to press them down and you can't. So notice how much harder that makes holding this arm position. All right, guys. Adding on, I think I started shifting from side to side, so I'm going to prevent that. Adding on, the next time a heel is lifted, pause. You might have guessed what's coming. Then maybe lift the other heel, coming into a balance challenge. All right, guys, and breathe. Are you still imagining that you're trying to press something down, but that doesn't want to be pressed down? Breathe. Can you lift those heels higher? Breathe. And then, guys, let's bend and straighten and bend and straighten. Okay, if this is hurting your knees or your hips or anything, just omit this. Yeah, so you can do anything else. So remember, it's your job to work in a pain-free range of motion. The cost-benefit analysis of working through the pain doesn't pan out. So just stop working through the pain and breathe. Okay, are you still imagining that you're trying to press something down that doesn't want to go down? If not, recommit to that. Are those heels super lifted? Are you sucking in that tummy? Woo! breathing. Are your ankles quivering? If so, that's a great thing. So we're building that stability in those ankles, which, well, also the mobility if you're challenged with your balance. Both of those are super important for fall prevention. All right, guys, for 3 and 2. Woo! Okay, next time you're down, stay down. Open those arms and close. Open and close. Pretend it's super hard to open them and super hard to close them. Oh, and notice how much more challenging this is for the entire arms, the side of the body, under the armpits. Oh my gosh, this is so strenuous. The back, the chest. Oh, breathing. Holy cow. For 4, 3, 2. The next time those arms are together, pause, lift those heels even higher, and then lower lift, lower lift, lower lift. I know, super long set. I really missed you guys. I haven't worked out since Monday of last week. That's 9 days. Yeah. So you might have thought, oh, foam roller, this is gonna be easy. All right, and breathe for 4 and 3. Oh, yep. Squeeze those booty cheeks and 2 and breathe. Ah, feeling those thighs, feeling so much. 2, I know, I just said 2, and 2, and 2, and 2, and 1. Come to center. Well done. All right, so notice how your body, those muscles are activated kind of everywhere. So those muscles, they literally get filled with blood. So that's why they used to call it pumping up back in the day. In fact, I think there's an old Arnold Schwarzenegger movie from maybe the 70s. It was about weightlifters that was really fun to watch. And I think it was called Pumped or something like that. But the reason is because those muscles fill with blood. For 2 and 1, and come to center. All right, let's take our foam roller, guys, place it onto the side, reach your left, well, whatever opposite arm, and then lean to the side. Yeah, notice if the shoulder hikes up, drop it down. So my range of motion is tiny. Yours is probably greater. If so, just enjoy that. Whew. Yeah, so back to that pumping idea. That's why frequently, a lot of times, bodybuilders, before they go into an event, they pump up their bodies. For 2 and 1, and come to center. In other words, they challenge their muscles in the background before they go out on stage. All right, let's place that over to the other side, reaching the other arm up and coming into that side body stretch. In fact, I think that they don't do that though for the quadriceps, because I think when you pump those muscles up, it takes away the definition, unlike in that upper body where it shows the definition. But I think it just kind of pumps up the, oh, and there's my shoulder. Yours might be up too. Go ahead and drop it. But yeah, so I think that the quadriceps, they just kind of pump up the unit, so it actually creates less definition, or cut is what they call it. For 2 and 1, and come to center. Let's take that foam roller, put it behind us. If it's available to you, put both hands on the foam roller and bring those shoulders back. Okay. So just hang out here if this is available to you. If that's not available to you, I want to give you another option. All you need to do is take those hands behind you and imagine that you can press your hands into the foam roller, or imagine that there's a beach ball behind you. You'll still be getting the exact same effect. All right. I'm all about the modifications today. All right, so from here, if this position feels okay with your hands on the foam roller, guys, what happens if you take little teeny tiny steps forward? Yep. So drop those shoulders, navel is tucked to the spine. I feel like I'm an old school surfer on a huge longboard, hanging 10 arcs coming into what they call a soul arch. But anyway, so the reason we're doing this is because it's a really terrific posture enhancing exercise. Breathing for 5. Ooh, feels really good. Actually, we'll hang out here for a little bit longer. So I don't know if you noticed, but what's happening is there are muscles right in here that we're stretching. Those muscles, as we lean forward, they literally shrink, and it makes that poor posture comfortable. So stretching those muscles out is definitely a example of time well spent. For 3 and 2 and 1, and slowly come back to center. Okay, guys, next, let's take this foam roller and place it onto our right shoulder. And then let's press that right side of the skull into the foam roller. And just feel that activation. On a scale of 1 to 10, you're exhibiting about a 3 in pressure. So we're not doing a huge thing here. Anytime we work with the neck, we want to be super gentle. And breathe for 4, 3, 2, and 1, and release. And then let's tick-tock our ears from side to side and notice if the side that you just spent time pressing into the foam roller feels a little bit easier. In fact, I think I can even see it. Maybe not. Well, certainly when I come to this side where I have my foam roller, it feels much more like my muscles aren't putting the brakes on as quickly. So it's kind of like tight, looser. And just notice that for 2 and 1. Come back to center. Then let's take that foam roller, put it on the other side, and then gently press your head into the foam roller. So if this is hurting your ear, guys, just reposition it so you're not really hitting the ear. That said, I guess I'll go on this side. I do want your body to be kind of flat as opposed to like leaning your head forward. So it's almost like you get it. So just feeling that muscle activation. Again, super gentle, and breathe. Oh, this feels really good actually. For 3, and 2, and 1, and slowly release. All right, then tick-tock from side to side. And now suddenly I feel like the brakes are on when I come to this side, and then looser on this side. Okay, now it's starting to even out a bit. Yeah, but at any rate, this tick-tock motion feels much looser than it did a moment ago. For 2, and 1, and come to center. All right, guys, let's take that foam roller behind us, behind the waist. Palms are facing forward. And then let's press those shoulders back. So we can use the leverage on our forearms, pressing the foam roller into the waist, and then use that to draw those shoulders back. And then let's just gently rock from side to side. You can allow those hips to sway if that feels okay for you. In other words, continue. But frequently I cue this exercise to keep those hips still, so you're twisting at the waist, not at the ankles. But if it feels okay, you can twist at the ankles. Again, going for that ankle mobility. If you think about someone who is going to topple over or fall over, and they don't have that movement of the ankles to support them underneath them, and they're stiff, they'll just topple over. So yeah, so I mean that's true for anybody anywhere. I know that's a strange thing to say. I was thinking about surfing, so that's true for surfing too. So it's, if you're surfing and you can't move those ankles around here, you're gonna face plant more quickly than if those ankles are able to maneuver around underneath you and catch you. For 2, and 1, and come back to center. All right, guys, next, if it feels good to you, I'll cue that differently. Let's kick one leg out behind, and then maybe this is all you want. If you want more, you can lean your torso forward, lifting that leg. If you want more, you can make a straight line with your torso and your heel leaning a lot forward such that you are parallel to the ground. I'm going to omit that. For 2, and 1, and slowly come back to center and step that foot forward. And let's take that other leg back. Still using that foam roller to open the chest, and then maybe lift that leg, lean forward, and then maybe lean forward a lot, such that your body is parallel to the mat. For 4, 3, 2, and 1, and come back to center. All right, guys, we're going to come down to the mat. So let's take the foam roller, and we'll just set it to the side. I'm super awkward, so however you want to, I'm sure you'll be much more graceful than me. Come down to a seated position on the mat. Okay, yep. All right, and then I need to lie down right away. But for you, if it feels okay, take that foam roller and put it across your mat, under your back, kind of at a, let's see if this feels okay. Yeah, that feels better. I'm gonna be a little bit awkward in my angle. So I want you like this. So you're leaning back onto that foam roller. It's hitting you at about bra strap level. Place those fingertips behind the head. And then if it feels okay, maybe lift those hips. Okay, and then, oh, my back just popped like 3 times. If it feels okay, begin to gently roll forwards and backwards. Woo. And just enjoy this sensation. You can have a range of motion that goes all the way from the bottom of your ribs, all the way up to the tips of your shoulders, but avoid the waist. And you are breathing. You guys look awesome. And just enjoy that shoulder massage and that back massage. Yeah, you guys look really good. Whew. And continue. Yeah, so just the goal is to feel good. So if you're feeling good, you're doing it correctly. And just enjoy this sensation. And while you're doing this, I just want to point out that I am a living example of modifying. Like, I'm on camera, of course I'd like to look really awesome and go through this range of motion, but it doesn't feel good to me, so I'm not going to do it. And I want you to do the exact same thing. If something doesn't feel good, just don't do it. You can do anything else. You can just chill out, you can do something different, you can come into a favorite move or anything else. All right, guys, for 3 and 2. And then if you wish, take both elbows, pivot them to the left, and then roll up and down, so much so pivoting those elbows to the left that you're actually rolling out the side of your back instead of the center of your back. And just enjoy going for that really nice massage. Yep, you guys look awesome. You look really happy. Loving it. I often joke that the best way for a Pilates instructor to make friends is to say, okay, today we're going to pull out the foam roller. All right, guys, and then if you're twisted to the left, go ahead and come to center, and you guessed it, twist to the right. And breathe and enjoy that movement. So I'm filming live from Coretown Pilates, and I'm in Southern California, and it's super cloudy today. And suddenly the sun is peeking through, and I feel like I need my sunglasses. It's really bright out there. And you're enjoying this sensation, rolling out the right side of your spine for 3 and 2 and 1, and come back to center. All right, guys, then go ahead and however you want to get there, we are going to lower the booty and place that foam roller. Again, I was so ungraceful. Ugh. All right, place the foam roller behind the head. So your neck is just resting on the foam roller. And just take this feel good feeling. If it feels good to you, you can bend your knees, feet are flat, and then gently drop the knees to the left. Usually my knees would come all the way down, and I'm going to decrease my range of motion today. And just if it feels good for you, just hang out with both of your knees all the way down to the left. Just completely relax, feeling that stretch on your right midsection, and just enjoy that. And breathe, feeling that nice side body stretch. For 4, 3, 2, and come back to center. Drop those knees all the way over to the right if that feels good for you, and enjoy the space. And if you think about it, you're creating space and length between your bottom rib and your hip bone. So that's a nice thing, stretching all these muscles in your side body. So just enjoy that if that feels good to you. If you're all my live students have been with me before, but if you're joining me on YouTube for the first time, I am recovering from a back injury. So usually I have all this equipment like spread apart. So I've got this big open space to work from. but because I'm protecting my back, I am working in a tiny space because I didn't want to move the equipment. And if you're watching me for the first time, welcome. Glad you're here. All right, guys, let's come back to center. Let's just rest the arms at your sides, and feet can be wherever you want in a resting position. And then just gently, gently press the base of your skull into the foam roller. Just enjoy that sensation and breathe. Woo. For 3 and 2 and 1, and release that gentle pressure, and then begin to go like you're nodding your head. No, shaking your head. No, no, no. Gently looking over one shoulder and then over the other. However, you can close your eyes. You don't really need to look, but it's that range of motion. And just enjoy that massage feeling on the back of your skull. And you are breathing. Sometimes when I teach, I feel like I say that too frequently, and then inevitably, right as I'm thinking that, at the end of that class, a student will come up to me and say, "Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you remind me to breathe because I always forget." So there you have it. So I'm not going to feel self-conscious for saying and breathe for 3 and 2 and 1, and come back to center. All right, guys, let's remove the foam roller from under your head. Just lie flat and notice how maybe you feel a little bit of a reset in that neck, just lying flat. So maybe the area, we don't want the sorry, I'm not doing this well. We do not want that space flat from the upper shoulders to the head, right? We want a little bit of a curve in there in your neck because that's naturally how your bones curve. But just notice if that curving sensation just feels a little different. Mine feels more relaxed, more comfortable, and yours might as well. Okay, going to move on. Let's take that foam roller. Bend your knees, feet are flat. Slide that foam roller into that space. And then lift the hips and roll that foam roller under the hips and rest the hips on the foam roller. All right, guys, maybe this is all you want. If you want more, bring one knee into tabletop, recruit all those core muscles, and then maybe other knee into tabletop. All right, maybe this is all you want. Keeping these core muscles engaged, you should feel this a lot in your midsection. Now, it's possible to do this movement and not feel it that much, but I want you to use your Pilates magic superpowers and make it so you feel this a lot. How? Pretend like it's super hard, suck in that tummy a lot. You can press your fingertips into your midsection and feel, are those muscles taut? All the way around your waist, are they taut? Yeah, so make them taut. All right, and then from here, if you wish, you can begin to gently rock those knees from side to side. And then you can increase your range of motion if you wish. Yeah, so just make this feel good for you, whatever that looks like. You can pedal those legs. You can take those legs up towards the ceiling if you wish. You can come into leg circles. You can bend your knees. You can keep them straight. You can keep your feet flat on the mat and just shimmy from side to side. So just take a moment here and make it, again, if you're feeling good, you're doing it correctly. Okay, so while we're doing this, I just want to point out, again, this is inherently a posture correcting exercise, because if you think about it, as we tend to our lives, which are in front of us, frequently we're leaning forward, those shoulders round forward, our head juts forward, our torso becomes such that we're rounded forward in front of the hips. So this position, our hips are, if we were standing, our hips would be more forward than our torso. I guess that's true in this position, lying down as well. But at any rate, so the idea is that it's the opposite of leaning forward. All right, so remember, you're moving freely through space, hopefully feeling pretty good for 2 and 1, and then find stillness, and then place those feet down. If they were elevated, lift those hips, and then roll the foam roller down towards your heels. Okay, and then guys, I feel like I need to scoot back. Ugh. And then let's take those legs, drape them over the foam roller. Okay, so maybe this is all you want. You can shimmy those, just kind of rock those legs from side to side, feeling that massage in the back of the leg. Also, you can lie your head flat if you wish and lift those hips. And you can kind of side wind if you wish. You can wag those toes from side to side. So again, just massaging the backs of those thighs in a slightly different way. And then you can lower down, and then you can roll the foam roller up or down a little bit and do it again. Just changing the point of contact. If you're lifting your hips though, I want your head flat. Okay, another option, and I'm not going to do this, but if you want to, you can come up to a seated position, and with your the foam roller under your thighs, you can place your hands behind you straight. So you're kind of leaning back in an upright seated position. Okay, and then in that position, you can lift those hips. With those hands on the ground behind you, you can use that as leverage to roll forwards and backwards over the foam roller, and you can shimmy those feet from side to side, or you can find stillness and shimmy those feet from side to side. But if you are seated with those hips lifted, you will feel more pressure, thus a firmer massage. Another option is you can cross one knee over the other and continue, and you will have the pressure in a more concentrated point, so that will also lend to increasing your massage sensation. And I'm just going to chill out right here. So I'll give you guys a little bit of time here. Also, if you're working on one leg, I'll give you a chance to switch legs. So don't feel like you need to navigate your own time with that. And I'll give you just about 10 more seconds before I cue for you to switch legs. And just enjoy. I know this might be kind of a boring video to watch because I'm modifying so much. Go ahead and switch legs if you're doing one-legged work. And I'll give you 20 seconds on this leg. But hey, I'm happy to see you guys. I missed you. It was tough canceling my classes. I really don't like to do that. All right, guys. Breathing for 3 and 2 and 1, and come back to center. Okay, next, take that foam roller and place it under your calf. Whew. And then you can just wag those toes from side to side. Are my feet in the camera? I don't even know. Yep, you can just wag those feet from side to side if that feels good. And change the position. You can cross one ankle over the other. If you're seated, you can lift those hips. Actually, if you're lying down, you can also lift those hips. If you're lying down and you lift those hips, just keep your head down. Yeah, so there are multiple ways to increase the pressure on one calf. And again, if you're on one calf, I'll cue for you to switch. If you're on both calves, that's okay. So again, the goal here is to feel good. If you're feeling good, you're doing it correctly. Wow, that does feel good. Kind of hurts so good. I can see a clunk. It's like my leg is all smooth, and then it like kind of jolts as I go over one muscle. It's my super well-defined calves. But I can almost hear that clunk clunk. All right, guys, if you have one ankle crossed over, cross the other ankle over. Whoa, that hurts just. So this foam roller I have is super hardcore. It's very, very tough foam roller. It's very hard. All right. So you have switched legs if you're doing one-legged work. Oh, that feels so good. All right, for 3 and 2 and 1. Okay, guys, switching gears. Okay, this is going to be a very ungraceful transition for me. But where this is going is I want this foam roller. I want you sitting on your foam roller with your hands behind you on the ground. Yeah, so your bum is on the foam roller, your feet are on the ground, your arms are behind you, leaning back onto your hands. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to get into that position, but you are in that position. It's probably feeling pretty good. You might be thinking, heck, she's a Pilates instructor. Why is she so stiff? Well, the good news is I'm a Pilates instructor, or I would be a lot more stiff. All right, so I'm interested in this kind of a position. And then begin to roll forwards and backwards. All right, and then if you want more, you can cross one ankle over the other, roll forwards and backwards. It creates a more pressureful feeling. I think I just made that word up. Pressureful creates a feeling with more pressure. And then, guys, you can begin to drop your knees to one side. Again, creating a more concentrated point of contact between the foam roller and your bum. And then you can pivot over to the other side. Whoa, again, I'm just really feeling a little clunk clunk in there. Incidentally, when I first threw my back out, I had somebody who's supposed to be amazing. If you're in Orange County and you're interested in this guy's contact information, you can message me. But he was referred to me, and he really got into this muscle area that we're massaging out right now. And I was like, "Do you work out a lot?" I'm like, "Yeah." I mean, kind of knew that, but he was joking. Like, "Yeah, I can tell." For 2 and 1, and then if you have one ankle crossed over, pause, and then let's cross the other ankle over, and just roll forwards and backwards and forwards and backwards. Looking good. Again, you guys look so happy. Foam rolling always makes everybody happy. All right, and then if you wish, you can begin to lean those knees to one side. Yep, looking good. By the way, if you feel like your time would be better spent focusing on a different part of your body, then you're welcome to do that instead, of course. All right, and then let's pause and shimmy over to that other booty cheek. Breathing. Whew. Yeah, depending on the density of your foam roller, this might feel pretty intense. I feel like if this foam roller were a masseuse, his name would be Rolf. He would be from Eastern Europe, and he would be putting all of his body weight into massaging out these trigger points. If you're on a softer foam roller, your foam roller might be named Sophia, and she might be giving you just little airy massages. All right, guys, for 3 and 2 and 1, and come back to center. Okay, I'm going to give us a little more time to massage out the back of the lower body, or the back, or the shoulders, or anything else. So we've rolled out the back quite a bit, the back of the body quite a bit. So I want to give you guys just a little bit more time to revisit any of the areas that we've massaged out. If there's a certain part of your body that is calling to you saying, "Hey, hello, spend more time on me," just go ahead and do that. So whatever that looks like for you. You know, I'll give us a minute here, and I'll cue when we're halfway through in case you are massaging on one side. So your minute is starting right now. Breathing. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's crazy how much these foam rollers can really get into that muscle area. So this is also called myofascial release. And so I always encourage you guys to drink a lot of water, but I especially encourage you to do so after a foam roll session. All right, and then let's go ahead and switch sides. I feel like this minute is going by really fast. It's kind of sad. I'm feeling sad about that because it feels so good. And just massaging, rolling out, feeling good. Oh, oh my goodness. Yeah, loving the variations that I'm seeing on my screen. Yeah, you guys are doing some interesting moves. I love the creativity. I'm not moving much, but I'm really enjoying this. Oh, and we're 10 seconds over and pause. You know, Lynn, I can see you pretty clearly. Raise your leg if you want another minute of free rolling. Okay, we'll go for another minute. Again, I'll cue you when we're halfway through. This time we'll officially start the minute in 3 seconds. Okay, you have officially started this next minute. I find when I start on the minute and the 30-second, it's much easier for me to remember when to switch you guys. Oh. And breathe. So again, back to that water thing. So as you guys know, well, those of you who, well, anyways, I've been doing a bit of modeling and I'm new to it. All right, so we are going to switch right now and we'll go for another 30 seconds. And so since I'm new to it, by the way, it's really fun because I'm like over 50 and just starting this. I'm actually getting quite a few gigs. But so being new to this, I've been YouTubing how to model and it's a no-brainer. But one thing that all these models talk about is the importance of drinking, just to look good, you know, and have that fresh look in your skin. All right, for 2 and 1 and pause. All right, guys, we are going to switch gears. So let's take this foam roller. Okay, so I'm going to be super awkward. I'll tell you where this is going. I want you lying on the foam roller with the foam roller going up and down the length of your spine and your head completely resting on the foam roller. We've got 7 minutes left in class. It might take me that long to get into position. I'm joking. It won't take me that long, but okay. So lying down on, yeah, you guys are already there. Okay. So just lie here. Allow those shoulders to melt down and around. Your arms can be in a position that feels comfortable. Your legs can be in a position that feels comfortable. And then if you wish, you can gently rock from side to side. Yeah, so anyways, back to that drinking water and all these models saying, drink water. Yeah, so anyways, so drink water because it's good, makes you look good, makes you feel good, and it helps to flush out any toxins. A lot of people believe that when you do this type of work on a foam roller, that it releases toxins in your body because it's loosening really tight muscles. And so to flush those out, a lot of people say to drink water. So that's the take-home message. Drink water. And you know, you can really make your water taste better by putting things in it. So as I mentioned, I'm filming from Coretown Pilates, and we do a thing here where we make spa water. And I really like making it. I feel super creative. But this morning I put 5 citruses in it. And who doesn't want to drink that water? So you can really make it taste better and have fun putting different things in it. All right, guys, I really don't want to stop doing this, but if you're bored, I'll cue some different options for you. So maybe find stillness and reach those arms up to the ceiling. Reach those arms back towards the wall behind you and up towards the ceiling, and then down to the hips, up to the ceiling. Continue rainbow arcing those arms. All right. And the next time those arms are up towards the ceiling, pause, reach one arm to the wall behind you, one hand down towards your hip, both arms up to the ceiling, and switch and switch. So this is major posture opening right here, guys. This is so good for you. Just lying on the foam roller in this manner. And breathe for 3 and 2 and 1 and pause. All right, I'm going to give you options here. If you want to, you can place your hands down onto the mat and bring one knee into tabletop and the other knee into tabletop. You can take those legs up to the ceiling and you can come into leg circles. Another option is you can keep those knees in tabletop and you can tap the toes of one foot and switch. Another option is you can just keep those knees in tabletop and begin to apply less pressure between your hands and the mat, coming into a balance challenge. So all of those are options, or anything else is an option, really. But a lot of times people enjoy doing those types of movements, or you can just gently rock from side to side, which is what I'm going to do because this feels amazing. You're breathing, just enjoying that sensation. All right, guys. Because I am moving slowly, I'm going to come off my foam roller and begin to come to a standing position, but it'll probably take you 10 seconds to come to standing. So if you wish, you can continue just enjoying the sensation of being on your foam roller. You're welcome to, are you in the next class?
Nope, I just lived down the street and I was on a walk and I said, oh, this is open.
Cool, awesome. I'm leading a Zoom class right now, so that's why I seem distracted.
Oh, I didn't realize you weren't full of people in there. I didn't want to like.
That's okay.
I'm sorry.
All right, guys. Maybe begin to find stillness in your foam rolling. Yeah, you guys look super peaceful. And then gently roll to the side of your foam roller and just continue lying on the ground. You can kick your legs out long, rest your arms, or anything else that feels good. But what I want you to notice is that really fabulous sensation that happens after you've spent time lying on the foam roller. We've got just a few minutes left in class, so I want to give you the opportunity just to lie flat and enjoy that sensation. If you wish, you can close your eyes, set an intention for the day. And just enjoy. And then begin to wiggle those fingers, wiggle those toes. And however you wish, come up to a seated and a standing position. Yeah, love it. You guys look awesome. All right. And then take your time coming all the way up to a standing position. Yep. And then let's swing those arms from side to side. Hope you guys feel amazing. So I worked you pretty hard. Well, I thought it was hard. Let's see, I'm trying to remember. It feels like a lifetime ago. I barely remember what we did before the foam roller, but I feel like I worked you pretty hard before we got on the foam roller. All right, so notice if this feels different than it did at the beginning of class. Hopefully you feel better, looser, more open. For 2 and 1, come to center, and then reach those arms overhead, curl those fingertips over, tuck the chin to the chest, roll down vertebrae by vertebrae, which I am not doing, but you are if it feels good for you, coming into a forward fold, letting your head melt down towards the mat. Yep, you guys look awesome. And then nod your head. Yes, yes, yes. I feel amazing. Shake your head. No, no, no. And then softness in the knees. Roll up vertebrae by vertebrae, coming all the way up to a standing position. High. Yeah, looking good. And then finally, let's bring those shoulders up, back, and down. Up, back, and down. One more time. Up, back, and down. Keep them there. Keep them there throughout the whole day. Not in a super stressed position, but in a relaxed position. Try to make this your relaxed position. Try to keep your ears over your shoulders the whole time, and try to keep space between this bone and your bottom rib.
Thank you.
And that's a wrap.